graduates went through diploma in law, and this is in regard to career progression. So they did their diploma in law, and they proceeded to do their degree in law. Your Excellency, before 2014, everyone who did their diploma and did their degree in law were able to proceed to the Kenya School of Law for the ATP. But the laws were changed in 2014, and this affects around 6,000 university students who are working in law firms and getting underpaid. And I am happy to see that the president of LSK, who is very passionate about issues of youth, is also here. Your Excellency, there is an amendment bill in Parliament that is on the Speaker's desk and has stayed for so long. Your Excellency, this is something Attorney General. And with the indulgence of the Attorney General, I believe this thing can be, we can find an approach where this thing can be addressed, of course, through the office of the Attorney General, so that these comrades can stop their suffering. They are not able to proceed to self-actualization, because most of them would want to become advocates of the High Court, but they are not able due to that. Your Excellency, another concern is on students and youth leadership.
Wakili, I really hate to do this, but please, we've only gone through 5 questions. I think there are so many people on attack.
Okay, just one more.
Kindly, we agreed with yeah, please, kindly.
Okay. Your Excellency, in regards to university students and youth leadership, you can see that we have the National Youth Council is constituted. It's supposed to hold elections. And I feel, Your Excellency, the youth feel that they have not been able for a long time to represent their grievances because they are not able to elect their leaders directly. And this goes back even to the University Amendment Act, which introduced the delegate system, which I feel that the universities have found a way to maneuver so that they elect the students who are elected are students who they can be able to maneuver and manipulate. Your Excellency, finally, on the issue of branding, the projects that our members of parliament and all other people has the aspect of when the projects are complete, people tend to brand their names on these projects. Your Excellency, these taxpayers, and it is the request of the young people and the youth that when it comes to branding, we would rather have these projects branded that they have been financed by the Kenyan taxpayer. I will leave it at that, Your Excellency, and thank you very much. But of course, there is the issue of mental health. I appreciate we cannot exhaust all these things in one sitting, but I'm looking forward to more engagements in other platforms. That.
Thank you. The final question of the 3 ex-councillor.
Good evening, everyone. You can hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
My first request to the host and the co-host, please do not give the elected people the chance to speak, one of them a liar. You can hear me, Osama? Can you save the time? Elected MPs, any elected official. So thank you very much for the time. I have 2 things. More, I don't want to repeat a lot of things I'm saying because the president have a pile of questions already. Number 1.
Mr. President, si watakujua huyu askari amekuwa kiwa watu kwa maandamano atashukua siku gani? Kwa vile amekuwa kirom freely tangu last month amekuwa to all over the city. Tulikuwa tunataka kujua atashukua siku gani kwa vile ilikuwa inasemekana amekuwa hivyo tangu kitambo na sio wa kwanza. We just need answers about him.
So he will answer that plus Councillor. Councillor, finish, please. Thank you.
Yeah, my question is to the president. Why is it that the things you're asking about today are not new things? They are things you did promise in your campaign, and the other time you are being played with videos of you saying the same thing. You had to find a way of not listening to those videos. The one thing that you promised us, one of them is corruption. Your people around you, you've addressed this one. the 100 people you have around you, 90% are corrupt or have story of corruption, and you are doing nothing about them. I'm a medic by profession, and the issue of NHIF, which is moving now to SHIF. I read the last 2 days of millions, 300 millions, another 900 million today, disappearing to wrong or fake claims. I'm wondering, if the change from NHIF to SHIF, will it improve or just another way to get more to buy houses, buy big cars, and laugh at us? Now, Mr. President,
Councillor, those are about 2 questions. Now let's have the president answer. We don't have a lot of time. We have Tunawatu wengi. They need to ask questions to the president. Please let the president respond to that. If we get a chance, another chance, utauliza swali ya tatu tafadhali.
Very much. Thank you very much, good people. Let me start with the gentleman. I didn't get his name, from Osop. We have too many lies flying all over the place. Let me just state. Let me just put it clearly. So many people have spread this story about William Ruto not telling the truth or making fake promises. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that there will be a hustler fund. Today, there is a hustler fund that I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that fertilizer is going to come down. It has come down from 7,000 to 2,500. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that we will have a housing program. Today, 103,000 houses are being built with 160,000 young people, real people, architects, quantity surveyors, plumbers, technicians working. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that we are going to sort out matters in the education sector. Today, we have hired the highest number of teachers in Kenyan history in one time, 56,000 teachers. I made a commitment that I am going to sort out in our universities. Today, ask any vice chancellor. With our new funding model, we have sorted out the challenge that was there in our universities. Today, lecturers are being paid. No university today is about to close down. When I came into office, most universities were teetering on being closed because of debts. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that I am going to implement. Today, as I talk to you, we have 100,000 community health promoters in every village in Kenya that I pay, that I have equipped to begin the journey towards universal health coverage. As I talk to you today, there are 4 pieces of legislation that we have implemented, that we have enacted to actualize universal health coverage. I can go on. Every commitment that I made, I said I am going to appoint the judges that were not there. I did. I said I'm going to operationalize the fund for the police, independent police. I did. I said I am going to enhance the budget of the judiciary. I did. You know, when people want to conveniently say a few things that propagate, it is easy. But let me leave that there. Let me go back to the Mosop Kurgung story. I want to tell you, my good brother, we have stalled roads in Kenya. In fact, the budget, the debt we have on roads is 910 billion. Because we rolled out have money to do. It is what is troubling me now. It is why many people are asking me, why are you outside the country? I went to China, for example, and I got 40 billion shillings to do at least 8 roads that were stalled. I have come back from the US, and we have had a consultation, and we are getting money to be able to roll out some of our roads, courtesy of funding from the World Bank. I have had conversations with the president of Germany, and they are giving us money under the same program for us to be able to meet some of our programs. I want to tell my good friend from Osop that we are focused on these areas. These roads did not stall yesterday. These roads have stalled for a while. We are figuring out how to make sure that we deal with that situation. But maybe the minister did not keep his word, and I'm going to remind him. Let me do the following. On fertilizer, I want to agree with you on this subject of fertilizer first. Let me say this. Fertilizer has made a very big difference in Kenya. Because of our program on fertilizer, we have managed to increase our food productivity. For example, on maize alone, to 67 million bags last year. This year, we are going to pay the highest bonus ever in Kenyan history for our tea. In fact, our tea production, because of the support we gave ATDA, has increased from last year. It was 180 billion shillings that we collected from our tea. This year, it's going up to 210 billion. On coffee, the average payment of coffee last year was in the region of 70-80. As I talk to you now, because we supported our tea farmers, the average payment for our coffee is in the region of between 100, 120, in some very good cases, 129 shillings per kilo. The whole array of what we have done with fertilizer is phenomenal. And therefore, Morsop gets annoyed when there are people who want to sabotage a program that is making a very big difference in Kenya. And that is the reason why I didn't delay 1 minute. When this issue of fake fertilizer came into the public, all the officials that were involved in it at the National Cereals and Produce Board were charged. When the minister is finally, when there is for the minister to be held to account, I want to promise you that I will fire him and any other minister for that matter, if there is sufficient evidence to hold anybody accountable. Arrogance. I agree with you that not everybody understands communication. Let me tell you, my good friend from Osop, the day you become, you will know how easy it is to make a mistake in the public. Sometimes you say things that you did not mean, but it comes out very badly. So whether it is the member of parliament for Molo, the member for parliament for Molo is a young man. I can tell you that young man is doing his very best. In fact, when I made him the chair of finance committee, I shouldn't have made him, but I wanted to test also young people. And I wanted to mentor young people. And I want to say, he has made mistakes, but I want to tell you that young man is bright. He has a bright future. He made mistakes. I will apologize for him. Maybe he said what he shouldn't have said, but they are among the young people I am mentoring so that they can become leaders tomorrow. Same case with my friend Kimani Ichung'wah. In fact, go somewhere. I called him. I told him, look, this is not how to engage the public. If you follow the next day, he had managed to correct his statement. And he had done, an about turn of some sort. Because let me tell you, my good friend from Osop, I have also one duty as a leader in Kenya. I have a duty to mentor other leaders. They will make mistakes. They will demonstrate maybe some arrogance, maybe either inadvertently or in whatever manner. But partly, it's because of inexperience, partly because of not a fair understanding of things. But I sometimes will want to take responsibility because these are members of my team, and I will correct them. Let me also say about what you said about the Finland story in Eldoret. It is really unfortunate that people livestock for their children to go to Finland. I wish I could go to court and tell the court to jail these people. Unfortunately, there's something called rule of law. There's something called due process. If these people had not been arrested, if nothing had not been done about it, then I would think that they are arrested. They are, as I talk to you, presently in court. They are being taken through due process. And I am very confident that if they are guilty, the law is going to deal with them. Let me go to Saruni, Akili. You said about the 1.5. It is true. There was a proposal of 3%. The public told us want a levy. If you want, collect a tax, reduce it to 1.5. So both reduction to 1.5 and changing to a tax was actually coming from public participation. This is what the public said. If the public are going to make a different suggestion going forward, we will respect what the public will have said going into the future. Am I still? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Let me say this. I agree with you, my friend, that I said that I would have an advisor in my office for young people. But maybe I did something different. I gave many young people. If you go to parliament, if you look at the leader of Senate, if you look at the leader of young people, if you look at my deputy controller of State House, these are young people. I decided to have more more principal secretaries. If you look at the profile of my principal secretaries, you have people in their 30s, many of them serving in substantive positions. In fact, many people were asking me whether these girls, some of them look like they are, or these boys, whether they very proud of them. They are doing a wonderful job. But that is something I will consider, Saruni, that as a way of keeping a promise, I think that is something I need to consider. And thank you very much for your feedback. Let me also say on the matter of the law that is bringing problems to 6,000 diploma law students who, because of a law in 2014, I will take it up with the AG. Or professional organizations like the legal fraternity are normally regulated by professional bodies like the LSK and all the others. If we get a recommendation from the LSK to the Attorney General, I will be able to facilitate and make sure that we don't enfranchise 6,000 people in Kenya who have undergone training and who need to practice law in the way they want to do. There has been a problem with the Kenya Youth Council. We need to deal with it. And I have told Ababu Namwamba, my minister for young people, to look at whether we have the right forum. The problem with the Youth Council, it has always looked like it is a government agency. We want to make sure that it doesn't look like a government corporation or a government agency. We want it to be a young in a way that government influence and government intervention is limited so that the young people can speak for themselves. I would welcome ideas, Saruni, from university leadership on how we can make the Youth Council better, more democratic, and more representative of the young people. I couldn't agree with you more on this branding issue. Please. On government projects that have been done. I think it is made to look like they did it with their own money. I agree with you that this branding, if it costs public money, it should stop. And it is feedback that I am going to take in to see to it that no public money is used to paint people's photos on government projects. let me answer ex-councillor. I'm told he's ex-councillor, but he's also a doctor. This is good. I didn't know that an ex-councillor, a doctor can be an ex-councillor, but that is good. He has asked me about the NHIF and the transition to SHIF. Let me tell my brother, I didn't get his name, that the reason why we are NHIF to SHIF is because NHIF is limited. NHIF only captures a small section of our society. It is my intention, as I made a commitment to the public, that every Kenyan must have two things: must have access to healthcare and must have access to health insurance. We must, even those who cannot afford NHIF, because there are many people who cannot afford the 500 we are paying at the moment. And that is why we have brought in a means testing system, so that the people who cannot afford the 500, we have now reduced it to 300 under the new program. And even those who cannot afford 300, the government of Kenya is going to pay for them, so that no Kenyan will go to hospital or cancer or diabetes or whatever. Either they get treatment because level 1, 2, and 3 are free, or they can go to a referral hospital and there is an insurance system through SHIF, that's the social insurance that is going to make sure that their bills are paid. So, and let me tell you, one very important addition to this program, platform. The biggest problem we have had in NHIF is the digitization process. We lose a lot of money because of collusion between hospitals and staff at NHIF. In fact, you saw in the public media that there are hospitals that have more accountants than medical. They are gaming the system. We have now standardized all tariffs. There is no way you can be treated by malaria in one hospital and you pay 1,000, and treated for malaria in another hospital and pay 100. We have standardized, whether it is public, whether it is private hospital, we have now standardized treatment. That is what happened. Is that understand how to manage matters health. So this is a comprehensive program. It is one program that will change the face of Kenya. Kenyans will no longer have to sell their land, sell their property to go and pay for hospital bills. We will, all of us, stop these harambes and the public collections that we are collecting to go and deal with people. This is the plan. We have gone through it with Parliament. We have enacted 4 pieces of legislation. It was my plan to launch it on the 1st of this month. Unfortunately, because of the challenges we've gone through with the finance bill, we have shifted it to begin 1st of October, but the process of registration has already started. I think we are on day 4, and already over 100,000 Kenyans have been registered. So, and I want to encourage so that we can be able to plan for our health together as the people of Kenya. And we can even plan for our health commodities, and we can be able to secure everybody from matters illness. Thank you very much.
Not finish my questions. So as I continue, I know, but my main point was corruption, whether it's an HIF or chief. 300 million paid to fake claims, around 9 million today, early in the morning. Will this stop in the new system? Is that since you came into power now 2 years ago, the only thing you keep mentioning is the price of Unga going down and the housing project, which we do know very well will not be occupied with the common Mwananchi like me. So do you have another project you promise a lot of things, from police killings, that things are happening. Which one are you going to address other than the two of price of unga and housing? Now, in the police thing, there's somebody, as someone has told you, you have not addressed, someone was asking, there's a police that killed somebody, is believed to have killed the first Rex, the first death of the protests. Still roaming. Yesterday, the other day was seen in a video. Bullets, I cannot tell the crowd to a wall. What is happening to this? When are these people getting arrested? What is the CI doing about them? Why is it that the nobodies are getting arrested, arraigned in court in very few days, but then the big boys are just sitting somewhere eating our taxes? What are you doing about them? What is your direction to address this issue?
Thank you.
So, and also, if you notice something in the pattern, there are the last mandamano of goons. How come the first four, there were no this violence? But then there is the last one, with coffin in town and police entertaining these people dropping the coffin from the lorry, as well as seen packing them back in the lorry in the evening. It's clear that somebody was behind this and the police could not touch the very people that were doing this. But when it was another person with a phone and a bottle of water, they get shot, they get tear gassed. What is happening? Why you speak? Instruction are you giving to the police? Yesterday I saw that you are praising the police for having done a good job professionally. Well, people died. What are we praising here? What Kenya are we looking at? So can we just match the word with the action? We've been talking too much. We see on TV every day. We're on space. When are we getting to see action? Let me give space for other people. Thank you.
Also, the families of those who were shot dead by the police or injured by the police, even a single one, have you tried to reach even their mothers?
Thank you very much. Let me just speak to two of the things that you have. Yes, I have tried to reach out to Kennedy Onyango's mother, Jessica Onyango. And in fact, I am scheduled to engage with them. I have already sent a message and they know that I have been looking for them and I will be speaking to them shortly. On the matter of this rogue police officer that you say is roaming, that is something that I would want to get exact details of who this is. And I can tell you that we will apprehend him and deal with him in accordance with the law. But let me answer also what my friend...
We'll send you video and pictures.
Pardon?
The police, we have videos and pictures of them.
Okay.
So that should be easy.
Please forward the picture and photos to me, to Hussein, my spokesman here. And also I would appreciate if you can send it to also my inbox if you can, or if you can send it to the Independent Police Oversight Authority. But let me also respond to you about matters corruption. I want to promise you that part of the pushback we had on implementing our universal health coverage is because of corruption. Very many corrupt people who are gaming NHIF were against what we were doing. That is why they went to every court available, trying to sabotage this program because they know that they will be out of business. This program, because there will be no room for them to hide. It is also the reason why, my good friend, I am digitizing government services, because I want to reduce the interaction between Kenyans and officers who sometimes ask for bribes left, right, and center. I want Kenyans to access public service from the comfort of their offices or their phones, to the subject of corruption in that matter. Number one, we will operate a digital system through and through, whether it is with KEMSA, we are digitizing KEMSA, we are digitizing commodity distribution, we are digitizing matters to do with all health hospitals. In fact, the program that is going on now, we have grouped hospitals into PCNs. a number of hospitals into one PCN in every sub-county so that we can identify where these hospitals are, and we are working with the counties. I know you have said that the only thing I talk about is hunger and housing. Let me also tell you, the whole housing plan is not just about houses, my brother. It is about real jobs. Jobs in our industries that manufacture cement, jobs in our industries that manufacture steel, jobs in our industries that manufacture clinker, jobs, engineers, architects, accountants, HR managers, and many people who are working in that ecosystem. And beyond that, let me also tell you, my manifesto is a 5-year manifesto. What I am doing now is a cut. There will be an exam in 5 years. And I will tell you, when I do the exam in 5 years, you will see the results. Number two, beyond what I am doing on the space of jobs around housing, I am actively doing a big program on digital jobs. I was in RUTO the other day, a digital hub that is hiring, as I talk to you today, 5,000 Kenyans in RUTO. I challenge you, you can go to RUTO tomorrow, to CCI, you will find them working. And they are not the only ones. We have 140,000 Kenyans today who are working in different parts of Kenya, in TVETs, in ICT hubs, before I came to office. Today they are working because I have a very clear plan on digital jobs. When I talked in my manifesto about digital superhighway, it was not a write-up. It was not an essay. It was something that I intended to implement. As I talk to you, we are rolling out fiber optic using our power lines across Kenya. And I had set money to work with the constituencies, with members of parliament, to make sure that there is an ICT hub in every ward in Kenya, where young people in ordinary places in every ward can have access to the internet, to computers, and to make sure these young people are trained and they can have access to a digital platform where they can work. As I talk to you, listen to me carefully, 149 to be exact, 1,000 young people who you can contact today are monetizing their talent on the digital platform, working under the program that I have set up. So it is not just digital jobs only. Let me also tell you, today, because of the program that I have rolled out on matters to do with export of our labor, as I talk to you, last year, 120,000 Kenyans went to work abroad in different countries. I've had a good sister there say, what is the president doing in Germany? In America. I want to explain to her simply, what was the president doing in France? We are signing 19 new bilateral labor agreements that will give an opportunity for Kenyans who want to work abroad, an opportunity to export their talent. I'm talking about engineers. I'm talking about accountants. I'm talking about workers in different fields who want to go abroad. And I have now begun the process of professionalizing over the last 2 years that whole ecosystem of labor and the export of labor out of Kenya. That is why we are seeing an increment, not just in jobs, domestic workers, I don't know, drivers, I don't know what. We are bilateral agreements is that we want to go beyond those workers at that level. We want to export skilled labor, we want to export professionals, and we are creating the ecosystem for that to happen. In fact, if I tell you now, if you go to www.neaims.go.ke, you 400,000 jobs on that platform, different kind of jobs from different countries. We are now trying to make sure that those jobs will not be 400,000, they will be 1 million, and they will be largely, as we conclude these bilateral agreements, bilateral labor agreements, they will include many professional jobs, many skilled jobs. And I want to challenge me on this X forum, that is an opportunity. You can go to eCitizens today and check whether what I am telling you is true or not, whether those jobs exist or they don't. And I want to challenge everybody to go to that space, because that is one of our strategies. In fact, I saw on a Friday when there was a demonstration, one gentleman from my village was interviewed, and it's not has failed us because there are not many jobs in Kenya. The problem is that so many people are still going abroad to look for jobs. Little did that guy know from my village that I am the one who facilitated those who have gone abroad. It is part of my strategy to create opportunities. Let me finish by saying, in this year's budget, the whole trajectory, how do you create local jobs, my friend? The days when we just used to say, oh, we are going to grow the economy and the economy is going to create jobs, that is gone. We have to be deliberate. Housing, I know how many jobs I'm going to create in housing. Digital jobs, I know how many jobs I'm going to create. Export of labor, I know how many jobs I'm going to create. Now, what I had done in this year's budget is to put a mechanism where we promote our own manufacturing, local manufacturing, using local materials, hiring local labor and local professionals, and creating local wealth. There is absolutely absolutely no way we are going to grow jobs in Kenya by making Kenya a supermarket for other countries, an importer of everything.
We can't hear you. You're done.
He's done. Omondi.
Okay, one last question. One last question before I give somebody the several question flowing to me. It's also mine. I'm made to understand there's a bill on your table about the IBC reconstitution. I'm wondering how long should this be, or rather, question would be: was it a deliberate not to assign the bill so that when your people, the people that are guiding you, people that cannot listen to us, when you want to try to send them home, we cannot because there's no IBC commission that's in place. So what is about IBC? Because personally, I come from Nyanza, so MPs at Andy. But if I was coming from Nairobi or somewhere and surrounding, the MPs that really need to go home, and the law that there is no IBC to be able to do this. Because they have been arrogant, playing catch.
Parliament just passed the bill. It has found its way to my office. And I want to tell you, I will be expeditious. It will not go beyond Tuesday, and the bill will be signed and gazetted so that we can proceed with the process. I am just...
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I think we can get another. I'm having issues with my phone. I don't know why. So let's get.
Hi guys. Osama, can you hear me?